Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and good morning to everyone. Good day to everyone. This is Ismail Juhaimindi. So I am here to share my interpretation to the poem that is written by Jose Rizal entitled Josephine. Jose Rizal dedicated this poem to Josephine Bracken. It was written during the hero's exile in the Philippines. It was written on July 1, 1896 and it was about Josephine Bracken, whom Rizal had affection for. The poem reads like a reminder that no matter where Josephine travels, she must remember that Rizal's always waiting for her. The translation or interpretation of these short lines of verses depends extraordinarily upon the historical background among Rizal and Josephine. Nonetheless, from these verses alone, somewhere around 3 things are obvious. So, meron tayong 3 things na parang napansin doon sa tula na yun. And, alamin natin kung ano yung mga yun. Okay, first thing is that Rizal here is the unmovable of the two, having been banished and incapable to leave the island. Second is that Josephine showed up in the Pitan in a kind of unpredictable, transient design, despite the fact that the building a home there with him. He sees her as one that would likewise live as uninhibitedly as she had come, as she had none of the binds that bound her to the spot. Third, that any of these stanzas would detect that stance of othering, lowered accommodation that establishes the vibe of this whole piece. Through this poem, the unconditional love of Rizal to Josephine was expressed, and that is truly an amazing way of expressing our love to our loved ones. Through a poem, you can express everything you feel, and that is what I have observed in this poem. But nowadays, young people want to get into a relationship at a young age, and sometimes the true meaning of love is lost. Love is something to believe in. Love is something to rise in, and love is not just can be seen in behavior. Moving forward, let's talk about on how I created or how I made a visual background that is about the poem of Rizal, which is the Josephine. Okay? I draw an island as a representation of the poem entitled Josephine that was written by Jose Rizal. I used oil pastels, coloring pens, cotton, illustration board, and etc. in creating my visual background for the poem. As you can see, the visual is more focused on the sunset under the shore, and my representation of that is how Rizal waits for Josephine on the island. I think the best scene in the poem is on the island. I mean, the perfect spot for their love story is on the island. So that is why I created an island. Since I created an island with a twist of the sunset, since I love sunset, So, waiting for someone from dusk till dawn hits differently, and that is unconditional love, and that is what Rizal had for Josephine. That's all. Thank you.